Hey sis, each month inside Entrusted Women University, we feature a brand new interview. You can watch the full interview only in Entrusted Women University, but you can check out this snippet right now.
When we come off as perfect, we make God small. Because why would we need a big God if we already have it all under control? It's the tension.
We're here. Praise. Look, we had to fight principalities to get this interview going. Y'all, Toni's not in the building, but she is in the StreamYard room.
In the digital
Toni
building.
Collier. What's up,
somebody.
Toni?
Hey, y'all. It's going to be a good conversation. I hope you got your notes. Lean in.
It is. It's going to be a wild, honest, transparent, vulnerable, healing, cleansing, set free and delivered conversation. And fun. Did I say fun?
And fun, because if you're not doing fun, you're doing something wrong.
You're doing something wrong. Okay. But sometimes you need a lament. Okay. Right. Anyways, let me tell y'all about sometimes you can't have fun and sometimes you might lament.
Whole grief and gratitude. Hello. We'll talk about it. We'll get into it.
Okay, y'all. Let me read this bio. Just in case you don't know who Toni is. Toni is the founder of a global women's organization called Broken Crayon Still Color and helps women process through brokenness and get to healing and hope. Toni is a speaker. She's the host of the Still Coloring podcast and author of several books, Don't Try This Alone, Brave Enough to Be Broken, and a children's book, Broken Crayon Still Colored. Toni is teaching people all over the globe that you can be broken and still worthy, or feel unqualified and still be called to do great things. Girl, I was thinking about this interview and I was thinking about myself as a child and how I didn't like to use the broken crayons. I wanted the pretty ones. I wanted
the cute ones with all their clothes still on.
Yeah, and that had that perfect point. It was just like so perfect.
Fresh up out the box. Okay, ready to be used.
The box was crisp and everything was lined up, and it kind of had an ombre, a rainbow ombre, and it was just, and I feel like in life, I try to live that type of life.
Come on.
The pretty crayon box life. Yeah. And even also just on social, I feel like I'm like, what my hair look, what's my afro cut.
You want an aesthetic. You want the edges to be slick. You want the eyebrows to look like sisters, not cousins. I mean, yes.
That's right. And it's hard. What you're saying is so profound in just the statement of Broken Crayon Still Color. It's like, no, you can be used with your edges not slick. And you can be.
This is what we're trying to say, y'all. And if we're honest, when we come off as perfect, we make God small. Because why would we need a big God if we already have it all under control? It's the tension with being the strong friend, where you got your cape on and you're handling everything yourself, but you're secretly dying on the inside. And everyone thinks it's your capabilities that's pushing you forward, but it's because you won't actually be honest about your weakness so that God's power can rest on you.
We in there,
y'all. You can go home.
I had a whole temper tantrum with God.
I love this. This is so honest. This is why I like you, Kia. This is why we're friends for real, because people aren't saying this kind of stuff. I had a temper tantrum with the Lord just the other day. Not when I was a fresh Christian, not when I was not as mature as I am now, but just the other day.
Like yesterday morning after I dropped my kids off at carpool. At least my kids weren't in the car, but it was just me saying, I'm so frustrated with you. Like all I could say was, I'm so frustrated with you, God. Like how you have this situation played out, because I had been talking to you about it for years and years and years. And I thought you were going to do something different, but that's not what you opted to do. Anyways, it ties into what I want to talk about, y'all. I know y'all like kids on a tangent today. It might be the space I'm in right now.
It's me. I bring the ADHD out, okay? Because I have it so aggressively. It's so bad.
So our ADHD is like linking
on you, right?
Linking arms. I say, let's be friends. Let's play right here.
Right here. Welcome
No,
to
this is
our
what I want to
playground,
say.
guys. Let's go deep.
Okay, so Toni, you are not talking to just people. You're
Yeah.
talking to writers and speakers, and
Yes.
quite honestly, people that have the desire to be on the stages that you're on, to
Yep.
have the book deals that you have,
Yep.
to know the people that you know.
Yeah.
And I have been in that space, wrestled
Yep.
against that space, back in that space again, of like,
Uh-huh.
when is it my turn? I want to do this, I don't do
Yep.
that. And I think that it's become kind of sexy
Yeah.
to, be in the limelight and to have your edges laid and to be on the stage or
Mhm.
whatever. But like we were talking about before we got on, is spiritual warfare is for real, for real. And so
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about that because
Yeah.
you are in a place where a lot of people want to be.
That's good.
But there it comes with warfare. Like it
100%.
does, it looks sexy.
Yeah.
Okay. And
It
don't lose saints, don't get too religious. You know what I'm
don't. Yeah,
saying?
yeah. You know what? It's
It's
attractive, and you know what
it's
we're saying.
desirable, right?
Yes. It's funny because okay, so I've been in the book of John a whole bunch. Just even I mean, gosh, I think since March or May, just processing through these 7 miracles because it's just been a hard road. Like for context, for anyone that's listening or watching, it's like I don't even know who this girl is. About 2 years ago, I got a call from my now ex-husband that he was being extorted by someone that he'd hired for sexual favors. And this was not the first time in our marriage. It was the first time that I'd found out in a long time that he was still doing it. And I had to process through a divorce, not only as a mom and a daughter of God, but as a public figure. And divorce is
Yes.
hard already. It is pretty treacherous when you have to do it in public, when you have to post a statement about your personal business because you have a responsibility as a leader. And hear me when I say I'm not at all discounting the beauty that I hold in my life because I am so privileged to do what I get to do. And it costs so much. We were talking about this before we even got on. Kia, you were like, how are you doing? And I'm not in the business of lying, okay? Nor am I in the business of pretending. So I just told you the truth. I'm weary. Our family's experiencing spiritual warfare because I put this dang book out. I already know why he's coming. I've been weary for 2 years, fighting and processing through divorce, healing from said divorce, public embarrassment by my ex husband who did not want to admit the truth. Like, it's been terrible. And I've seen the goodness of God in the land of the living. And I think for people that have this longing to live this traveling life, this leader life, this writer life,
Talk
podcaster,
about
speaker,
it.
like you have to know, and this is not a warning, this is the actual truth. You have to know that every stage you touch comes with a cost. Every mic you hold comes with a cost. Every single word you write, the periods and the exclamation points will cost you. And if you're not ready for that, God's delay is protection for you, not stinginess or selfishness. It is protection. And in the book of John 11, you see the question being asked, why did Jesus delay healing and raising Lazarus from the dead? Why did he delay? If he loved Mary and Martha, if he was friends with Mary and Martha and Lazarus, why did he wait 4 days to raise him from the dead? This sucker could have actually just said from Judea, Lazarus rise up, and he could have popped up out the tomb. Okay. He could have fixed it.
He could have did it from where he was. He could have
No,
did it from where
because
he
he
was.
just did. He just saved the leader's son in a different place by just his words. Okay. No presence, just words. But at the end of the day, I won't even say but, and the delay was the realization that God loved them so much that he needed them to know that even after 4 days, because there was this belief that after 3 days, you could still kind of sort of be like, you could come back to life again. There was a superstition. And so after you were dead for 1 day, people still believe your spirit hovered over your body, which is a little weird and not true. Okay. But they believe that. And Jesus knew that contextually and culturally. And so he decided that he would surpass the 3 days so that their human hope would leave so that they could have a heavenly hope. Because love is always behind the delay. Protection is always behind the delay. So wait, saints, wait your turn. Stop rushing it.
Good.
He's protecting you. He is loving you. Wait.
That's so good. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I was interviewing somebody who had um gotten a divorce from her husband because he struggled with substance abuse. She's a
Mhm.
speaker. She's a speaker. And she looked at me in my eye and she said, "The devil wants your marriage."
Oh, yes.
And I was like, I don't think I had a book at that time. I don't think I was like,
What are you talking about? Why are
I
you
was
saying that?
like, what are you saying? It was just like,
What do
it's
you
like,
mean?
what are you even saying?
What do you mean? Don't say
It
that.
was
Take it back.
like that. And
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen it because I
yeah,
guess I've been doing Entrusted Women for 8 years, 8 years,
yeah,
and so you engage with a lot of
yep,
people and you see you walk through life with them. You
yep.
see their children say that they're gay or they're
Uh-huh.
trans or
I got a
that
friend
they're
right now going through that. Yep.
or their marriage falls apart, and it's just kind of like, there's a desire in us to be in the front and to have the books, but not to have the both. And
Come on.
like when Jesus says count the cost.
Let's go.
We don't know even what to count. We can't even fathom that it could not be super fabulous and
Yeah.
everything's groovy.
Yeah.
We just can't even fathom
Well,
that
you know this, Kia, it's because we don't tell people. We want people to see the
that
highlight
part.
reel and the look at me on stage, and we're posting all the high res pictures of us on stage with big crowds. But leaders, this is our responsibility. We have to do a good job at saying out loud, "Hey, this be sucking sometime." like, like I need y'all to know. This is why I'm so vulnerable and honest about all of the pain I'm going through in due time, because I want people to know that this is a hard life. It is not like it's very difficult. And when you accept that and you surrender to that, the truth is you just get to a point where you're like, I don't need to show y'all every perfect thing. Like, because God's covering me. And I don't need to show you every hopeful thing in my life and every trip and every whatever. I want you actually to see all the broken parts so that you could run to a good God. Like that's it. That's kind of the business I'm in. I'm like, I'm done with the highlight reel. Okay. I want to show you all the hard parts so that I can point to a big, good rescuing God.
That's so good. Let's talk about that because I think for me, one, I think, how old are you? Do you mind telling how?
34.
Because you put it on Instagram anyways.
Oh yeah. Listen, I
Okay.
got some gray hairs coming in. So excited. I'm about to be a hot silver fox. I'm
No,
excited about
you're
it. I
not.
love
You still
aging.
have
I
time. You still
love
have
aging.
time. I have some right there. Well,
I
you can't see it
love
until I
it.
press it out.
I'm
Okay.
like, look at me. I can't wait to be 60. Okay. Lifting weights and doing pull up. Okay. Anyways.
You're gonna be a force. Okay, but anyways, I feel like my generation,
Yeah.
I'm 46.
Uh-huh.
So I don't feel like the 46ers, or maybe
Mm.
it's just me. It could just be me. We're as free as
Oh,
females.
no, I no, you're 100% accurate.
Because
Oh,
are you a
100.
millennial? Are you a
I am,
millennial?
but I'm like a young millennial though. And there was the mid no, I wouldn't say a young millennial. Let me not play myself. I'm not no young millennial. I'm a mid millennial, okay? Not an elder
But you
millennial.
present, you give
I give elder
young.
millennial. Yes, it's because of the
Yeah.
trauma.
Okay.
Right. I feel 52. I feel 52. Okay. I done been through so much. 2 divorces, y'all. It's been crazy. And but the mid millennials, something happened. And I'm going to tell you what my theory is. I don't know if you remember, Oprah and Gail came out with the Me Too movement. Remember this?
Yeah.
15 or so years ago. And it ignited something in women where we were like, I'm going to say the thing too, because that happened to me too. So if Oprah was brave enough to tell her story and say me too, and all these other celebrities started doing it, and then we started doing it, and we were like, yes, me too, me too, me too. Two things happened. A whole generation of mid millennials on down said, we will no longer hide. No, actually, real bravery, real strength is us saying the hard things. And the second thing that happened, we could talk about maybe on another episode, is we left all the men behind.
Yeah, we ain't got time. We ain't got time to
There
talk
were
about
now
that.
Me Too on the male page, but they should have
But
been saying it.
this is what I'm saying, Tony.
Yeah,
Like when I'm processing, like yesterday,
yeah,
yesterday was a very authentic moment for me.
Yeah.
and God, where I'm like, this is how I feel about you. I still think you're Savior. I still think you're Lord.
Yep.
I still think, you're a healer. You're the only way, blah, blah,
And
blah.
I'm frustrated.
I don't mean blah, 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 Lord, but you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I don't mean blah, blah, blah.
I love you. Okay. Just kidding.
But I am also frustrated with you at this time.
Yeah.
And in that moment, there's nothing inside of me that can put that out publicly. Like
Mm.
I can't, I can't
Yeah,
even
I'm
like
gonna give you some grace on that because I do think that when you're a leader, as you are, we do have a responsibility to balance our hope and our frustration online in public. And I've always said to everyone, people are like, how do you know when you're supposed to share something online? Like, what's the litmus test? My litmus test has always been, am I hopeful about this yet? Now, hope doesn't mean it eradicates my long, hard, tender journey of healing or forgiveness, but it does mean that I'm moving forward. And I think that when we're not ready to move forward, when we're stuck in bitterness, frustration, grief, unforgiveness, I do think that's not supposed to be put online, right? Like I can share a hard thing from a hopeful place. And so I don't want to discount like that. We do need these intimate moments with the Lord. And if we look at the Garden of Gethsemane, even Jesus had circles, right? Like he had his most intimate circle. It was him and God. But then he brought three close to the Garden of Gethsemane, Peter, James, and John. And Peter, James, and John were the only disciples that saw him in distress after he connected with the Lord, sweating blood because he was so nervous about going to the cross. He was like, let this cup pass me by, good Lord. And only three people saw that, not the masses. He did not sermon on the mount, crying, sweat, and blood, being nervous. He didn't do that in front of the masses. And so I do think that you're wise in that you are sharing this intimate space with the Lord first. And
mhm.
then when you get to a space like this, where it's like, I've processed through it, I've acknowledged it. Now I'm going to tell Toni and everybody listening and watching. But I do think there just are levels and systems in the way that we share things.
That's
So,
so good.
uh,
And in Jesus's sovereignty, he knew they can't handle this.
the other disciples could not. His mama couldn't. She
Right.
can't see me like this.
Mm-mm. That's
Uh,
a whole
I know.
word for
I
all
know.
of us because I
Yeah.
think, in our attempts to be authentic sometimes or be, garner
Yep.
more followers or garner
Yep.
more, whatever, we out there, we ain't processed at all. Like
And we can see you leaking on the internet. And it's not
sheesh.
good. It's not good, y'all. Get off of Facebook and please also stop talking to all your coworkers. You're gonna get fired. Okay. You need to develop you got to develop some circles so that you can process in healthy ways. But it's true, Kia, what we're describing, as you know, is the lack of proper healing and placement causes us to leak. And it just comes out all sideways, right? So if we're not intentional about our pain, this is what I write about in this new book. Like, if we don't have people, safe for people to process it with, we're going to process it on Facebook and it's going to come out sideways and we're going to have some regrets and all our business is going to be on the internets and we're going to lose our jobs because we're talking about it to our boss and that is the problem. Okay. So I just think when I'm spreading this message of don't try this alone, don't try this alone, I don't mean go try this with your internet community. I mean, go and find people that you know that know your middle name, okay, to process your hard things with so it's not coming out sideways like that.
That's so good. And I
Mhm.
think that I got a couple of things going on, but I think
Love
that
it.
that speaks to what do our horizontal relationships look
Yes,
like, and do we have somebody in our circle that is whole enough or
that's good. Healed enough. Yep.
mature enough
Yep.
or emotionally equipped
Yep.
enough to handle the weight of
Yep.
what we're walking through, specifically as writers and speakers, because stuff be coming at you sideways and you be like, "What this?" I was just living my life. Like I was
It's
just
true.
minding my own business and, happy go lucky. And then boom, this happened in my marriage with my kids, with
Yep.
my extended family, my
Yep.
my neighbor. My neighbor came at me. It's like, I don't even know you like that.
Yep.
It's just random stuff. And if we don't have those
Come on.
horizontal relationships, then we can skew the relationship we have with our followers and with the
That's
people that read our blogs
good.
and on our YouTube channel and on our Instagram. Like they're my friends because they like everything I say and
And then
it's
there's
like,
no
girl,
real
I'm praying for you
accountability.
and congratulations, and they're giving me everything I want to get.
That's good. And
Anyways,
those are not your friends, y'all. Okay? Like,
those are your
I
fans.
those are your those are your fans. And there's no accountability in that. There's no one that can look you in the eye and say, "I think you're processing this way because remember this part of your story? Remember this thing that you're still healing?" I think you're maybe going a little bit too hard, right? Because there's some unsaid or unspoken anger that I'm aware of. Like, you don't get that intimate prognosis and accountability that not even you, we all need. We. Okay. I'm in a confessional community group. We talked about this on last time. I'm in a confessional community group. It's 7 of us, and we are all confessing every month for 3 hours to each other. So the other 29
Oh,
little days, the
I
other
heard
29
you talk
little days,
about it. I ain't coming.
I'm not
Oh,
coming
I
to
have
the
been
thing.
invited, but I'm like, I'm not ready for
Listen,
this.
it's just as intense as you would actually think. I mean, it is a lot, but we are in the practice of confession, which is a healthy space to be in as a leader because we're not hiding anything. We not trying to live no double lives. We know we in 29 days we got our little confessional community call and we got to tell it all if we really want to be seen and soothed
I'd
and
be like,
safe.
let me try to live right.
For real, you be like, okay, you know what? I probably shouldn't yell at my daughter 2 days before the call because I'm gonna have to say it. I'm gonna have to say it. So we
Let me
need
go
those
and pay for this latte and not just walk out.
for real. Okay. But it's healthy. It's the ecclesia. It's what we saw in the early Acts church that everyone had everything they needed because everyone gave. If they were connected, they knew each other. And I just think we got to get back to that. And the internet and all the digital stuff, it separates us in ways, but it can also be really powerful tools to connect us too if we use them well.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, Tony.
Yeah.
So Tony said we're friends. We like every now and then I text you
But you
friends.
know what it is? It's because I have circles. So I can segment out the type of friends that I'm talking about. Everybody is my friend because I'm an extrovert and I actually do love
Everyone is your
everybody.
friend.
But everyone's in different spaces. And I have best friends, intimate friends since college that we only talk once a quarter. Okay. And it'd be a hey, you good? A check-in because life is busy and it's crazy. But I try to be at least try to be clear with like the people that I'm bringing in close. I say, hey, I just want you to know that this relationship is an intimate relationship to me. And I want to invite you into that. And if it's a no, that's cool too. But I think that's like the other interesting thing is that we haven't done a good job at putting people in different friendship spaces. So then it's like, are we friends? It's like, yes, girl. Listen, at the end of the day, if you need something, you literally could text me and I would do it. If you needed a connection, if you needed whatever, like I would literally be like, here, girl, I think this, I think that, because you're my friend. But you don't know that I'm struggling with 3 days ago because we haven't agreed to be in that intimate space with each other like that until we do. So
You're all up in. I mean, the Lord has been working with me on friends because
yes.
I always wanted that waiting to exhale friendship, where
Oh
it's like
no.
Whitney and Leela, Angela,
Rashard,
all of them, and they're
all
all
the
in
people.
like
Mhm. He's a good man, Savannah.
yeah, they're all in the convertible, and like Whitney's
Her
thing
hair,
is just blowing in the wind or
little
whatever.
bangs.
I always wanted that, and that's not what the Lord blessed me with. He didn't bless me that. And there were times where I didn't have friends at all. And I
Yeah.
think when I found a friend, I just latched onto her
Yeah.
and didn't realize that I was leaning into codependency.
Codependency. I was gonna say it, but I didn't want to name it unless that was a part of your
She's
story.
like, maybe
I
she
don't
did.
want to
Maybe the Lord didn't
pathologize
tell her it was
anything, but I was
codependency, and I
like,
don't
it's
want to out
giving
her on
codependent.
the.
It's giving codependent, and we've all
Yeah,
been
it was, and so you just don't know
there.
what
Yeah,
you don't know or whatever. But
100%.
I think like with friendships, there's so much that we don't know,
Yep.
like how to establish boundaries or how to have a friendship breakup or when the friendship is not healthy or when you're going
Yes.
to the friend, you should have been going to God or,
Yes.
just all these different things. So, I mean, the Lord anyways, when you talk about circles, he's teaching me at 46
Hmm.
how to establish circles. Like, which friend is my Peter
Yep.
James? Which friend group is my Peter James and John?
Yep.
Or who can
Who
handle
does
this?
disciple? That's
Who
good.
doesn't handle that? Who, when I give them something emotional, just kind of backs off and
Freezes or back.
withdraws,
That's good, Kat.
and can't handle it, can't respond. Don't share that with that friend. Who's my marriage friend? Who's
Come
my
on, that's
my
good.
child, my children advice friend? Or who's
Yep.
my let's go to breakfast and act crazy friend? Or you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like,
listen, I literally this is what the book is about. I literally talk about how to build a winning team of friends and identifying what friends are for what in your life. And that's another big thing is that we want all of our friends to be the same or to interface with us the same, but there's quite literally no other relationship in your whole life that's the same. If you have a trainer, the relationship with your trainer is different. You probably hate them low key because they pushing you, okay? The relationship with your pastor should be platonic and honestly distant because you don't know that man, okay? Or woman. And like all of our relationships have different dynamics. And we've seen that since we were little girls and boys. Like, come on. We just have to do a better job, I think, as adults in being intentional about friendship. And we're just not. Like, we get to the point where we're like, the only relationship I'm gonna be intentional about is the one with my spouse and the one with my children. And we forget the power of our friendships. We just forget. So I'm encouraging people all over the world to get your friendship life together
in the name of Jesus.
in the name of
And I
Jesus.
think and pray and pray
And it's
and
weird,
and
right? Yeah.
yeah,
Praying like,
ask
Lord, can you help
God
me find friends?
that part, because we do all this prayer about, Lord, who's my husband,
Yep.
who's the man that you have for me,
There
God,
it
keep
is.
me, but
Who's supposed to go to war with me, Lord?
we
Who's
need to
supposed to
be
stand in the
yes.
trenches with me, Daddy God? Okay?
Hey sis, I
Like,
hope you enjoyed that interview snippet, and I want you to be sure and check out Entrusted Women University by visiting membership.entrustedwomen.com to see the interviews in their entirety. And join us next week for more content to help you on your writing and speaking